Hi, Peyton. People used to say Brazilian fans are the most excited in the world. After you saw yesterday, do you agree with this information?
I absolutely agree. Yesterday was insane. I mean, we've gone to many Comic Cons and all kinds of conventions and things, but I've never seen fans the way they were. They were so into it, and when we went out and were sort of doing our interviews at the end, you could look all the way at the end of that whole conference hall, and there were people. It was like a wave, a tidal wave of people. It was fantastic, and they're such enthusiastic Marvel fans. And for us, for Ant-Man, for me, it's not that long ago. It's 8 years that we did the first movie, and to see the fans and how excited they are for Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly and Ant-Man, it's really gratifying.
Okay. And the multiverse was the brand of the Phase 4 in MCU. What can we expect for the Phase 5 that will kick off with the Ant-Man?
Well, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania kicks off Phase 5, and the big game changer here is really Kang the Conqueror. In the comic books, Kang was one of the great villains, since the early 60s. So for us to be able to introduce him here in the MCU is fantastic. And Jonathan Majors, who plays him, he is a force to be reckoned with. And I think you're going to see a lot more of him.
Yesterday we saw some scenes, and looks like Scott Lang is now a celebrity in the MCU. How it changed his role in the all MCU characters?
Well, I think Scott Lang is always Scott Lang. I always saw him as what we call the everyman of the Marvel Universe. He doesn't have superpowers on his own without the suit, and he's not a billionaire, and he's not a scientist. He's sort of just a regular guy. So he's changed a little bit, but really he was, I think the Avengers chose him to write this official book about the Battle of Thanos, and he wrote his sort of story as to how he became Ant-Man. If anything, I think he's kind of resting on his laurels. He should be out, being a real active hero, but he's kind of maybe looking backwards a little.
And I think family will be the central aspect in Quantumania. It is true, and how it do change the movie?
I think family has always been at the center of the Ant-Man movies. And these families are going through a lot. Scott and Cassie Lang. Scott's daughter is now 18 years old. She is an idealist, and she has a lot of ideas about how to do good in the world, but she's not quite sure how to go about it. And that character arc in this movie is very important. And the same with Hope and her mom, Janet. They rescued her in the last movie, but there's still a lot that Janet hasn't told them. And in this movie, her past kind of comes back to haunt the family.
And you directed all the other Ant-Man movies, and how this one will be different?
This Ant-Man movie is very different. We really get a chance to spend time in and explore the quantum realm. We'd sort of dipped our toe into it in the other movies, but here we really go down and see what it's all about, and see that there are civilizations down there, and there are beings, intelligent beings who are down there. And, like with any place, there is oppression and there are politics. And that's a really exciting thing because we had to create the quantum realm from scratch.
You talked about Kang, and Kang can be a new Thanos in this universe.
Absolutely. I think Kang is an extremely powerful man in the multiverse. And of course, there are variants. There are lots of different Kangs. You saw Jonathan in the series Loki play He Who Remains. But this Kang the Conqueror is a very different character than He Who Remains, and very, very powerful. And he has plans for the multiverse.
We have just a few seconds. Can you send a message for Brazilian fans?
I've never seen such enthusiastic Marvel fans. I'm so grateful to have been able to come down here and feel your excitement for our movie. Thank you so much. Obrigado.